morning, Dave Jeck here, Superintendent of Fauquier County Schools, with another edition of One Hard Question. Did not receive a question this week, but there are a few issues sort of still hanging out there that I want to comment on briefly. But first, I want to thank the unnamed person who dropped off the Egg White Delight on my desk, my favorite breakfast treat. Thank you very much. Three things quickly. Blackboard. As you probably know or may know, full Blackboard implementation is required of teachers starting in the fall. There was a minimum expectation in January that teachers begin using it at sort of a minimum level, and then in the fall, full implementation. Blackboard is a good product. It purchased Angel. Blackboard purchased Angel, so hence the transition to Blackboard. But it's a very good product, but it's new technology, and it's intimidating for some people. We've now provided over 600 individual training sessions for groups and for individuals from our IT staff to get folks up to speed on how to use it. It's a good system. I think by and large it's been extremely helpful, but there are hiccups and there are glitches, and we'll continue to work our way through them. So if folks have individual questions or concerns, please contact your school, your child's school, and ask, and we'll do the best we can to troubleshoot. Calendar, regarding this current year's calendar. Still receiving questions about makeup time and why'd you add 10 minutes to the elementary school day, and why didn't you do this thing, and why didn't you take recess away, and why didn't you add days to the end of the school year, and why didn't you take days away from spring break? We tried to come up with a solution that was least impactful to the smallest number of people is what we tried to do. We value elementary teachers' time. I certainly do. I know you do. But we value everyone's time. It's one of those situations where fair is not necessarily equal. One of the suggestions that was made to me was, or observations was, shouldn't middle and high school have to have 10 days added to their day, 10 minutes added to their day also, just in terms of fairness? And no, I don't think so. It's not necessarily fair to middle and high school teachers, and this doesn't impact them. They've banked much more instructional time than the elementaries have. So we try to come up with a solution that was, again, equitable and fair to the greatest number of people, and that's what we did. So is it perfect? No. But when you miss that many days, and in our calendar, current calendar, you plan ahead and account for days missed through bank time, and then if you exceed that or get pushed up against that ceiling of the maximum number of days you can miss and still be claiming bank time, you potentially have a problem. So that's what we ended up having particularly with the elementary schools. So next year's calendar will be addressing those issues differently. So stay tuned for that. The calendar for next year has already been approved, but we've not yet come up with the plan for what we do if we miss 5, 10, 15, whatever days because of weather. So stay tuned there. Budget. This question comes up, and I hear from people sometimes, and it's requires, I think, a little explanation. I submitted a budget to the school board that included a request for 5.1 million new local dollars. So we're asking the county for an additional $5.1 million. The school board approved that request for $5.1 million. It included paying the VRS costs, benefits, a salary increase, and then some additional positions, etc. The board of supervisors, the county administrator, made a request on our behalf of $2 million, just a little less than $2 million, and sent that on to his board. So 5.1, and then the request made from the county administrator was for 2. What we're hearing and what's been discussed in open session has been maybe something in the $2.5 million range, potentially $2.4 million range for schools. That's yet to be determined. There's still a vote needs to be taken regarding the levy, but indications are that there seems to be some support for providing additional money beyond what the county administrator had requested for schools, which is great and somewhat unprecedented, I guess you'd say. But that additional money is going to enable us to make some progress, particularly with the pay scale, with the compensation, but not nearly as much as we had hoped. So what we're trying to do with the pay scale, as I've said all along, is we have a dip in our pay scale, and we have to address that. We have to make the pay scale equitable. Otherwise, that dip, that curve in our pay scale is going to get more and more intense as the years go by. We need to address that, and that's what we're trying to do with this budget. So will we make the kind of progress we're hoping for? No, but we'll make some progress, and we appreciate the efforts of the Board of Supervisors. So anyway, I hope these answers have been helpful. It's kind of a long segment for not having received any questions, but anyway, I wanted to wrap a few things up, and hope it was helpful to you. So I hope you have a great day.